Have you ever been in a situation where you disagreed with a coworker, your boss, or a client, but didn't know how to express your opinion without causing conflict? It's one of the toughest workplace challenges, figuring out how to speak your mind without burning bridges. Today, I'll show you exactly how to disagree with confidence and professionalism while maintaining positive relationships with everyone around you. Whether you're a small business owner or an employee, you'll walk away with practical strategies that will help you be more assertive without being confrontational. Let's jump in. First, let's talk about why being assertive without being aggressive or confrontational is so important. Assertiveness is about advocating for your ideas, needs, and opinions while still showing respect for others. In the workplace, this is essential for collaboration, innovation, and personal growth. Okay, let's talk about 3 types of communication: passive, aggressive, and assertive. On the one end of the spectrum, there's passive communication, where you hold back, avoid conflict, and let others take the lead. On the other hand, there's aggressive communication, which can come off as hostile and generally can lead to conflict. Assertive communication sits in the middle. It's respectful, clear, and confident. Being assertive can help you build stronger professional relationships, contribute to better decision-making, and ensure that your voice is heard. It's not about winning every argument. It's about creating an environment where disagreement leads to productive conversations. Remember, assertiveness is not confrontation. It's a balanced approach to communication that benefits you and your team. Strategy number 1, focus on the issue, not on the person. One of the most effective ways to disagree without causing conflict is to keep the conversation focused on the issue and not on the person. It's easy to let disagreements feel personal, especially when tensions and emotions run high. But remember, you're disagreeing with an idea, not attacking a person. Here's an example. Instead of saying, "You're wrong about this," instead, try saying, "I see it differently because." This keeps the conversation professional and focused on finding the best solution, rather than it escalating into a personal conflict. Try using phrases like, "My concern with this approach is, I understand your point, but here's another perspective. I think we might want to consider the alternative." Remember, when you focus on the issue and not on the individual, the conversation remains productive and much less emotional. Strategy number 2, ask questions to gain clarity. Asking questions is a powerful tool when it comes to disagreements. Not only does it show that you're genuinely interested in understanding the other person's point of view, but it also helps you clarify the situation before reacting. When you ask clarifying questions like, "Can you walk me through how you arrived at that decision?" Or, "What's the goal we're trying to achieve here?" You're encouraging open dialogue instead of getting stuck in a debate. Here are some phrases that you can use. "I want to make sure I understand. Can you clarify? Could you explain your reasoning behind that? What outcome are you hoping to achieve with this?" Remember, asking questions fosters mutual understanding and helps you avoid jumping to conclusions or escalating disagreements. Strategy number 3, use I statements to express your view. Using I statements is one of the most effective ways to express disagreement without sounding accusatory or aggressive. By focusing on your perspective, you take ownership of your thoughts and your feelings without putting the other person on the defensive. Using I statements keeps the conversation focused on how you see things, rather than making it about what the other person did or didn't do. This leads to a more respectful and constructive conversation. Here are some practical ways to use I statements. I feel that we might overlook an important detail if we do this. I'm concerned that this approach might cause issues down the road. I think we could explore other options to get better results. Remember, I statements help you share your perspective without triggering defensiveness, keeping the conversation respectful. Strategy number 4. Pick the right time and place. Timing is everything when it comes to disagreeing professionally. Choosing the right moment and setting can make all the difference between a productive conversation and one that causes unnecessary tension. For instance, if you bring up a disagreement in front of a group, it can feel like a challenge or a confrontation. Instead, wait for a one-on-one moment where the person is more likely to be receptive. Here's one that a lot of employees get wrong. They have a tendency to disagree with their boss in a meeting full of people. Instead, it might be better to pull the person aside and express your concerns in a more private setting. Carefully timing your disagreement allows for a more thoughtful and open conversation. Remember, timing and setting matter. Choose moments where the other person can be receptive and responsive without feeling publicly challenged. Strategy number 5, acknowledge their perspective. Even when you disagree, it's important to acknowledge the other person's perspective. This shows that you respect their opinion, even if you don't agree with it. It also helps to create a sense of balance in the conversation. You might start with something like, I understand where you're coming from, or I see your point, before offering your own perspective. This shows that you're not dismissing their idea outright, but rather you're offering a different point of view. Here are some examples. I see what you're saying, but I think we might need to look at it from another angle. I understand your perspective, and I'd like to share mine as well. I get your reasoning, but there's something I'd like to add. Remember, acknowledging the other person's perspective creates a respectful dialogue, even when there's disagreement. Now that you've learned how to disagree assertively without being confrontational, you might be thinking, what's next? How do I take these skills even further? Becoming more assertive, setting stronger boundaries, and being even more self-aware. These skills are crucial, not just in the workplace, but in every area of life. If you often find yourself feeling unheard or stuck in situations where others seem to control the outcome, it could be because of a deeper pattern, a victim mindset. This mindset can hold you back from asserting your needs, speaking up for yourself, and living the life you truly want. In my book, Breaking Free from the Victim Mentality, I dive deep into how to break free from this mindset. You'll learn how to stop feeling like life is just happening to you and start taking control of your life by setting boundaries, becoming more assertive, and building a mindset of self-awareness and empowerment. If you're ready to take that next step toward owning your power, building a more assertive and confident mindset, and finally letting go of the patterns that are holding you back, you can find Breaking Free from the Victim Mentality now on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Now that you've learned these 5 powerful strategies, it's time to put them all into action. Whether you're in a team meeting, talking to your boss, or dealing with a difficult stakeholder, remember, focus on the issue, ask clarifying questions, use I statements, choose the right time and place, and always acknowledge the other person's perspective. Disagreements are natural, but how you handle them is what makes the difference between conflict and collaboration. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button, share it with your team, and subscribe for more tips that will help you succeed without all the stress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.